Welcome to The Insider. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe, like, share, comment and click on the notification bell for latest news vibes. Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti has denied that Karim Benzema's ongoing fitness issues could affect his ability to perform at the World Cup, dismissing the idea that the France forward has been protecting himself ahead of the tournament by missing recent games for his club side. Benzema did not train with his Madrid teammates ahead of their final La Liga match before the World Cup break, a clash against Cadiz at the Bernabeu on Thursday. The Ballon d'Or winner's absence this month has coincided with a Madrid slump. They dropped points in a 1-1 home draw with Girona last week and in a 3-2 loss at Rayo Vallecano on Monday to fall behind Barcelona in the title race. What bothers me is that Karim hasn't been able to help the team in these games with his quality, Ancelotti said in a news conference on Wednesday. He's tried, but he hasn't been able to come back with this discomfort. It isn't much. He's tried to be available and he hasn't been able to. Benzema was out for a month earlier this season with a hamstring problem and has made just one appearance in the last 3 weeks, coming on as a second-half substitute in Madrid's 5-1 Champions League group stage win over Celtic, with the World Cup now just 11 days away. Karim is the first to be disappointed, Ancelotti said, calling suggestions Benzema was protecting himself stupid. He's going into playing a World Cup without the minutes he needs to be in good condition. He's had a problem, it isn't serious, he's been working individually, but his feeling to play a game hasn't been good. Karim himself is the most disappointed because he's going to play a World Cup as Ballon d'Or winner without many minutes in his legs. Ancelotti said Benzema's participation in the tournament had never been in doubt. The first injury against Celtic on September 6 was an important injury, Ancelotti said. He recovered and this discomfort hasn't been serious. I don't think his World Cup has been in danger. Benzema scored 27 La Liga goals last season, along with 15 in the Champions League, to fire Madrid to victory in both competitions and won the Ballon d'Or last month. He is expected to lead the line for France at the World Cup after returning from a 6-year absence from international football in 2021. Karim Benzema and Kylian Mbappé headline France head coach Didier Deschamps' squad for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Sources have told ESPN that Benzema's fitness is not a worry to France staff, despite the forward missing Real Madrid's final games before the World Cup due to muscular fatigue. Defending champions France will take just 10 players from the squad that lifted the title in Russia in 2018, with key midfield stars Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kanté missing through injury. Manchester United defender Raphael Varane has been selected despite suffering a knee injury last month. Sources have told ESPN that Varane's rehabilitation is going well though, and he could be ready for the opening game against Australia on November 21. Forward Olivier Giroud, who is 2 goals shy of Thierry Henry's all-time national scoring record of 51 goals, was also included. Giroud was recalled in March after a 9-month hiatus following the team's early Euro 2021 exit and has been in good form for AC Milan. He knows where he stands. He knows what my position is. It's better for the French team that he is with us, Deschamps, who will have to trim his squad to 23 by Monday, said. Paris Saint-Germain defender Presnel Kimpembe, who has just returned to training, is also included, as is highly rated Madrid teenager Eduardo Camavinga. Bayern Munich and Germany midfielder Leon Goretzka has said anti-gay comments made by a Qatar World Cup ambassador are from another millennium. Former Qatar international Khalid Salman told German broadcaster on Tuesday that homosexuality was damage in the mind and said gay fans would have to accept our rules, referring to homosexuality being illegal in the Gulf state. Goretzka hit back at those observations after Bayern's 6-1 win against Werder Bremen, during which fans unveiled banners showing their opposition to Salmon's comments. "It's very oppressive," Goretzka said. "This is an image of a man that comes from another millennium. It leaves you speechless that something like this can be said by a World Cup ambassador shortly before a World Cup." On Tuesday, a group of LGBTQ+ activists protested outside the FIFA Museum in Zurich, Switzerland, calling for action on Qatar's anti-gay laws. European nations including England, Germany, France and the Netherlands are supporting a One Love campaign at the tournament to promote diversity and inclusion. FIFA has written to the 32 countries participating in the World Cup to urge them to focus on the football rather than getting involved in political issue. Senegal forward Sadio Mane's hopes of making the World Cup are in the balance after being injured playing for Bayern Munich on Tuesday evening. Mane picked up an injury to his right fibula in the first half of Bayern's 6-1 win over Werder Bremen. A medical update was issued Wednesday by Bayern, which said Mane would miss their next match against Schalke, and the club were in contact with Senegal. Bayern originally played down the injury on Tuesday post-match, with assistant coach Dino Topmöller saying, "Sadio Mane was hit on the leg, which caused him a little nerve pain. Nothing too serious and his participation in the World Cup should not be in jeopardy." A source close to Senegal told ESPN that there are fears among the squad that Mane will miss the tournament, though Senegal, who announced their squad on November 11, have yet to officially confirm the Bayern forward's situation. Senegal will be desperate to have Mane fit for their opener against the Netherlands on November 21. He has 92 caps for Senegal and was named player of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations after he helped steer Aliou Ciss's side to the title. Mane finished second in this year's Ballon d'Or behind Karim Benzema and is regarded as one of the world's best forwards. He joined the Bundesliga champions in the summer on a transfer worth up to €42 million from Liverpool. Gareth Southgate has told Chelsea defender Reece James he will not be included in England's 26-man squad for the World Cup finals. In a statement on social media, James said he was devastated and added that he truly believed he could help the team in Qatar. The 22-year-old was in a race against time to be fit after sustaining a knee injury against AC Milan last month. James flew to Dubai to undergo a specialist recovery program and had begun running outdoors at Chelsea's Cobham base, but following regular dialogue between the club doctors and England's medical team, the right back has been deemed too much of a fitness risk to take to Qatar. "The minute I injured my knee, I knew the turnaround to make the World Cup would be tight, but I always felt it was possible," James said. "I've worked harder than." James' injury raises the prospects of Trent Alexander-Arnold being selected, despite his mixed form at Liverpool. Southgate has injury concerns elsewhere with Kyle Walker and Calvin Phillips in a race to be fit, although there is more optimism that pair could have progressed enough to be included. Aside from Walker and Phillips, Southgate will also make late calls on whether to call up Marcus Rashford and James Maddison. Rashford missed the last squad in September through injury, but has 7 goals in 17 appearances for Manchester United this season. Maddison has more Premier League goal involvements in the calendar year than any other Englishman aside from Harry Kane, but has not been named in an England squad since 2019. Harry Maguire will also be sweating on his place, having started just 2 games for United in all competitions since August 13, when Eric Ten Hag's side lost 4-0 at Brentford. Alphonso Davies admits it was a scary situation when he picked up his hamstring injury while on Bayern Munich duty, but is confident he'll be fully fit for Canada's opening World Cup match on November 23. Davies picked up the hamstring strain in the 64th minute of Bayern Munich's 3-2 win over Hertha Berlin on November 5. The club post-match said he would miss their last two matches of the Bundesliga before the World Cup, but added his participation in the competition was not at risk. Canada have pre-tournament matches against Bahrain in Manama on November 11 and Japan in Dubai on November 17, before they then open their World Cup against Belgium on November 23. Davies will be one of the star players at the competition and, speaking to a media roundtable on Wednesday, said he was certain he'd be fit and ready to start the tournament. "With the injury it was a scary situation, but the doctors told me everything would be fine after 2 weeks with rehab," Davies said. "I'm happy it wasn't a little bit longer, I'm truly grateful for that. There's still a little bit of pain, but overall I feel good, and I feel I'll be at 100% during the World Cup and definitely giving my all for the national team." The news will come as a welcome boost to Canada as they seek to get through a group that includes Belgium, Croatia and Morocco. It is Canada men's first World Cup since 1986, and the star left-sided defender winger is looking forward to playing in his first global gathering. "For me, going to the World Cup is very special, and not just for me, for the whole country," he said. "We haven't made it to a World Cup in 36 years, and we're happy to qualify for this one. We made the journey, it was tough, but it was happy and exciting, and I'm excited for my first one with this national team, with Canada." South Korea and Tottenham Hotspur forward Son Heung-min has confirmed he will be available for selection for the World Cup in Qatar after undergoing surgery earlier this month to stabilize a fracture around his left eye. Son, 30, sustained the injury in Spurs' Champions League win at Marseille last week following an aerial clash and required lengthy treatment on the pitch before being substituted and walking unsteadily down the tunnel. "Playing for your country at the World Cup is the dream of so many children growing up, just as it was one of mine too. I won't miss this for the world," Son wrote on Instagram on Wednesday. South Korea's hopes at the World Cup, which begins in less than 3 weeks, rest heavily on captain Son, who has scored 35 goals in 104 appearances for his country. They will kick off their campaign on November 24 against Uruguay and also face Ghana and Portugal in Group H. Thanks for watching this awesome video.